Hey, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Chastity. Here I talk about celebrities, entertainment, makeup, TV shows, movies, animes, and kind of anything else that garners my attention this week. Now, normally, in the beginning of videos that are as detailed as this, I would like to do like the history of the people I'm talking about, but by my 4 pages of notes, this is gonna be a little bit of a long video, so I'm assuming if you clicked it, you know exactly who I'm talking about the situation. If not, just watch it while you cooking, eating, doing something, because this is gonna be a little bit of a long one. 3 months ago, YouTuber Diana makes a video on Angelica called Angelika Oles Let's Talk. In her video, she hits on multiple microaggressions that Angelica has been accused of doing in her last couple of videos. One was ableist comment surrounding Dixie D'Amelio and a drama channel getting tea about, or like a tip about how Dixie in high school used to fake seizures. And around that topic, Angelica seemed pretty blasé about it in the video, just like, it's whatever, it's not a big deal. That is the way in which she came across. As well as microaggressions towards black women during the whole Kylie Jenner situation, when someone had edited her caption of her picture and changed it to brown skin girl, and black people were quick to believe it because this is a Kardashian Jenner. This is not out the wheelhouse possibilities. And she basically called us a bunch of haters, and how Kylie lives in our brains rent free, and a whole bunch of other stuff that a lot of black women in her comments told her was very untrue, and how it felt like she was silencing us in our anger towards this family that has consistently stolen from us and done other things. You know the Kardashians, you know. She also mentioned a tweet that Angelica had did saying that she doesn't want to hear, in this Kylie Jenner situation, she didn't want to hear from white people. She didn't want white people's apologies, that she wanted to hear from black women and how they felt about it. And Diana stated that without any proof, because again, you can't see who's like the amount of people someone's blocked, but she has stated that Angelica had blocked a bunch of black and brown women. So of course, how would she be able to hear from us if we were all blocked? As well, she brings up a situation between Angelica and a girl that was in her live stream. I think it was her Twitch or something like that her friend was doing, and her bringing up a valid criticism about said video about Kylie Jenner, Angelica and her friend blocking her, and that whole situation. So that whole situation kicked off like 3 months ago, but I guess that video, because that was Diana's very first YouTube video, so it really didn't start picking up speed until these last couple of weeks. So earlier this week, this month is Vlogmas, the month that YouTubers make the most money in AdSense. So everyone's uploading way more frequently than normal, everyone's collabing with each other, and I want to say Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, Angelica drops 2 collabs, one on her main channel, one on her beauty channel. The main channel video was with Smokey Glow, aka Hannah, and on her beauty channel it was a collab with Abby. These are 3 people that I'm not subscribed to, but I do watch their videos quite frequently. They end up in my recommended a lot because I do watch a lot of beauty and drama related content, because my channel is just an interest of mine. Now, I watched her collab in her video with Smokey Glow. I have to say one thing really quickly, because it's been bothering me since it happened. In Angelica's video, they were doing like the top 5 dramas of this year, and when she brought up the Shane Dawson Jeffree Star drama, Angelica said that she has only ever had Jeffree Scuttlefish cosmetics, like a highlighter, and she has never used it on her channel because she felt really weird about using it because of everything that Jeffree has done. I would like to say that that is not entirely true. This is around the time of the Jeffree Star documentary, when they were working on the palettes. She received PR from Shane and Jeffree, and she used them in 2 separate videos. The 2 videos are Catherine finally speaks up on McBroom drama, and Shane Dawson just canceled his Jeffree Star series. So in both of those videos, she's using one of the conspiracy palettes or the pig palette, whatever. I don't know that makeup because I didn't care, but she's using those palettes and she's raving about them. So she did lie about that, which, because I wouldn't happen when she said it. I was like, why are you lying? We got you on candid camera in 4K using his products and raving about it. But that's besides the point. I just need to add that for me because I feel like other people should know this. Like, you lied about that. But so they did their collabs. I did not look at the comment section of Hannah's video. Very rarely do I read the comments in people's videos. I usually don't. I usually just kind of watch, unless like because usually when I'm watching a video, I'm doing multiple things at once. I'm a multitasker. My brain can't focus on one thing for too long. So I'm usually doing multiple things at one time. I'm watching a video, so I didn't read those comments. And then later, the Abby collab came out, and I watched both of those videos, and for some reason, I felt the need to scroll down to the comments, and I see people mentioning Diana's video and being like, how can you work with Angelica after all these things have come out? And I'm like, what things have come out? I'm not privy to any of this. And at the time that I watched Abby's video, she had addressed it and said that she was unaware of these allegations and she will be looking into it. And that same night, Abby's video goes down. That video did not make 10 hours. I don't think it did. Like, it was there and deleted quickly. So after that, I went to Smokey Glow's video to see if those comments are also, because there are people in Abby's comments being like, I saw people talking about it in like Smokey Glow's comments and I came here to go, so I run to Smokey Glow's comments. And at the time that I saw that video, Smokey Glow had a pinned comment saying that she is aware now of these allegations, but she believes that Angelica has changed a lot and that these things are not very true about her. Essentially, she was showing her support for Angelica. So that's pretty much it for the first night. I don't think Angelica had really said anything. She was pretty quiet because I think by the time, because she's in the UK, we're all in the States, I think by our time, she was already asleep and this kind of all popped off. But by that point, that's pretty much it. Hannah had made her stance at the time that she was siding with Angelica, and that's it. Fast forward to like the next day, and Smokey Glow ends up deleting her video and then posting an apology on her Twitter and on her community page on YouTube. The apology reads, I want to apologize to everyone who I hurt over the past 2 days. I have made a lot of mistakes and have resulted in many of you being disappointed in me for that, and I'm sorry. This August, I was aware that Angelica had gotten into some drama, but wasn't aware of the full scope of what happened. I didn't take the time to properly look into everything. Angelica was a friend, and I trusted her words on the issue. That was a mistake, and upon reflection, I definitely treated her differently because she was my friend. I asked Angelica to be part of Glowmas, and once our videos was posted, I saw a lot of comments that Angelica had been microaggressive, had ignored and blocked comments trying to educate her, and that she had handled criticism very poorly. Again, upon reflection, I see how I treated the situation differently because Angelica was my friend. If this had been any other creator, I absolutely would have called them out for this behavior in the first place. Because Angelica was my friend, I gave her the benefit of the doubt when talking about these situations and pinned a comment yesterday that defended her actions. After seeing the response to that comment, I realized that I didn't know the full story and needed to look more into things. Last night, I spoke to multiple different creators and collecting information and watching videos on the situation, and after hearing different perspectives, I have decided I no longer support Angelica or the collaboration we did together. I have encouraged Angelica to make a video addressing these issues herself, but I am not sure she will do that, and I can't control her actions, only my own. I'm sorry that I have failed to hold my friends accountable as the same standards I hold other creators to. I know that an apology is not always enough, but I hope my actions can show you guys that I do better in the future regarding these situations. And after that, everything was pretty quiet again until last night, which was Sunday night, when Angelica posted her video addressing the whole situation. She begins by saying that because she misspeaks a lot, that definitely gets her in a lot of hot water, which I will kind of get back to that very quickly once I move on to the next point. Angelica states that when she filmed that video about Kylie Jenner, that she was unaware of the Kardashian Jenner family, what they've done, and since has watched videos and has seen the full scope of what they've done, and that at the time she was unaware of these things because not only is she from the UK, which I'm gonna get back to that point, and that she wasn't on Twitter in 2020, so she was unaware of how problematic her family, the Kardashian family, is, which didn't know the Kardashians rose to fame in 2020. They have been a fixture in pop culture for a very long time, and they've been problematic for the whole time. Also, maybe like a month ago, I would have believed the whole I'm not from the States, so things that happen there doesn't come over here, if that whole kettle situation did not happen on Twitter. If you're unaware, a Twitter user, a pretty big one, she sells earrings, tweeted about that she has converted to an electric kettle. She goes to bed, and because time zones, she goes to bed, the UK wakes up, and all of UK Twitter is talking about this. This gets so big that actually ends up becoming like a news article. So I don't want to hear no because I was in the UK. No. Because if an electric kettle, something so insignificant, could make it to UK Twitter in 24 hours, you've at one point in these 10 years the Kardashians have been known, 10 plus years they've been known, have heard a story or two about the Kardashians. Also, at least once a year, there is a thread in great detail detailing all the horrible things that the Kardashian Jenner family has done. Because Twitter likes to rehash stuff a lot, it comes around at least once or twice a year. As well, it's really interesting to me for someone who has, in multiple situations, kind of endorse other Black women creators like Amanda, like Kenya, like It's Keisha. These Black women have spoken about the Kardashians and their antics. Do you not actually watch the Black female creators you big up? Because all three of these people, and any Black woman with a platform and who doesn't tap dance, has at one point or another spoken up about the Kardashians. As someone who touts herself as listening to Black women and watching Black women creators, that's really interesting to me. I'm not saying she doesn't, but it's just like Black women with platforms have definitely dragged the Kardashians a time or two. So this is the part where she kind of contradicts herself because, like I mentioned, she states that she was unaware of the Kardashians and what they've done. But she says in this video that she was not speaking to Black women when she said that the Kardashians live in our head rent-free and that we're haters. That she was talking about people who make up fake stories. That because when people make up fake news like this drowns out the actual credible information, the things that they've actually done, and all of the real problematic things they've done gets kind of pushed down, all the fake news comes up. Which I agree with. Going with fake narratives definitely does hurt the cause in the long run. But the thing with that is, she states that her intentions, listen clearly, her intentions were not to insult Black women. It was to kind of insult white people who drum up fake news in situations like this. That's all like fine and dandy, but the thing is, you just said you were unaware of the actions that the Kardashians have done. So how could that have been your intentions if you had no idea they were problematic in the first place? To me, that doesn't make any sense. The version of Angelica that made that video was unaware of what the Kardashians have done. So how could that Angelica's intentions have been to talk about the people who make fake news when you were unaware that the Kardashian Jenner family was problematic to begin with? How could there be fake news about them if they weren't problematic? That don't make sense. And I know it doesn't make sense because I've had to rewatch this video 3-4 times. And that part always gets to me. That you make sure we know that at the time of that video, you were unaware of the problematicness. but then your attentions don't make sense. If you wanted your attentions to be that fake news about the Kardashians are very harmful because it drowns out all the actual bad things they've done when you were unaware of the bad things they've done. It also states that because she does not elaborate her thoughts enough, that gets her in trouble a lot, which it does. I feel like it's very strange to me that you are a commentary channel, but you can't elaborate your thoughts. Like, it is in this type of sort like medium, it is very important that you are able to articulate your thoughts in a way that people can understand and digest, because you are talking about other people's situations, and it's very easy to mess that up if you don't elaborate and you don't give the full story and you don't give the whole scope of a situation. For her to say that, I was just like, that's just a very weird thing to be an issue and then choose to be a commentary channel. And I know for a fact that when she does her videos, she does like little bullet points. It's time to scrap the bullet points. Give me full scripts. I need fully thought out scripts, because it seems to be an issue that you always misspeak, that you don't elaborate enough because you're going off of stream of conscious, and not everyone is good with stream of conscious. I'm not good at stream of conscious. I have my very, very, very detailed notes right here. She needs a full script, because it's going to continue to be an issue where she misspeaks and where she doesn't elaborate, and it's going to cause issues. When you don't explain what you mean, it leaves too much room for interpretation, and that's what you don't want. Room for interpretation, which will come up again later with something she did that I really didn't like. She briefly goes back to Diana's video about the section of her blocking POCs and saying, and she actually shows that she only has 53 people blocked in the 5 years she's been on Twitter, and that one of them is in fact Diana. So I do 100% believe Angelica in this case, that she was not running around blocking, a bunch of people of color. And I truly do kind of feel like Diana was maybe a little bit salty about being blocked, because again, how does anyone know outside of, because being blocked, only you know you've been blocked by somebody, only you can see that. But to say that like she mass blocked a bunch of women of color, unless Angelica went back to her her Twitter and then unblocked each, no. The dedication that would take if she had actually blocked hundreds of black women to unblock each and every one of them, no. I feel like, because I've personally not seen any black or brown women say that they've been blocked by Angelica during that situation. So I'm inclined to believe her, and that maybe Diana was a little salty about herself being blocked by Angelica. She also addresses the stream where she had blocked the woman of color for giving her valid criticisms about her Kylie video. She states that prior to her receiving that message, she was getting trolled by people. And so when that girl's message came up, she barely read it. And the beginning of it sounded kind of trolly. And so she just straight up blocked her without really reading her message, and that's what happened. And that her and the girl ended up speaking through DMs. Angelica did end up showing those DMs on screen about them kind of hashing it out, and the girl really mostly just being offended about being blocked. I feel like we all would be, that like we're trying to like have a dialogue with somebody and then they just block you. Like, okay. Especially someone who's a commentator. And the girl had previously made a whole like thread about the situation. And so when the two were kind of like, they hashed out the situation, Angelica was like, can you delete the thread? And the girl was like, nah, girl. Which I feel like she didn't want to delete it, because that was like low-key probably like her tweet with like the most like likes and engagement. And like, it's a hit tweet. Nobody wants to delete their hit tweets. It's unfortunate. And so Angelica was like, can you please delete it, because this looks bad for me when people are searching for me and they see that I'm blocking black women for no reason, which wasn't the case. It makes me look bad. The girl was like, that's not my problem, basically. I'm paraphrasing, because that's how it felt. Like, the girl just seems to be like, this might hit sweet. What you want me to do? It get a little bit of numbers. So then the next thing Angelica does that I don't agree with is just like, she like screenshots and shows the messages, which again, that seems to be a big issue for her. She seems to, when other people show messages, like private messages, she finds that in poor taste, but then she does it sometimes. So she posted the DMs between two girls to her like 200,000 like followers on Twitter, and then the girl got tagged. I don't like it when big accounts do that to smaller accounts, because it's just like, if things are being hashed out privately, they should stay that way. Now, if y'all are publicly talking and they get dragged by your fans, you know that's just what happens. But if the conversation was private conversation should stay private, in my opinion. That private conversation did not stay private. That girl was then sent hate. And the thing is, like, it wouldn't be an issue if stans were normal human beings. It's very weird to me that like commentary channels have stans, but you know, y'all stan anything. Because stans aren't rational human beings. And instead of just like talking to them like you would, because the thing is, standing on Twitter is different because you act really bold on Twitter. Y'all really will speak to strangers on the internet in ways you would never speak to somebody in real life. Y'all be afraid to order something at McDonald's, but will pipe up as a stranger on the internet. And a lot of times it leads to like death threats, and like some people say some really foul shit to people on the internet. Now we're moving on. She addresses some of the comments in Smokey Glow's video. Not that Smokey Glow made, but of like subscribers of hers who said that Angelica was transphobic as well as she was misgendering people. She kind of like dispels a lot of these, because one person said that they were misgendered and in the comment section of one of Angelica's videos, and when people were like, oh, under what video, send us the video and we'll go, you know, check it out, bring it to people's attention so people know she's doing things like this. They don't say anything. Another person on Twitter, I think, said, because the person's name was like Broken Girl and they had like a meme picture, so there was no actual way of knowing this person's gender, because it's YouTube. If you don't really have like, no one, do people check people's like bios if they don't have like an actual channel, like they're not posting content, you don't really put anything in your YouTube bio. So there was no way for Angelica to know this person's gender and know what they identify as well as a user on Twitter had said that Angelica had misgendered them, but this person as well does not have their pronouns in their bio, and they have like a stand picture. So again, I don't know how you want people to use your correct pronouns if it's not in your bio. Internet tip: if I'm speaking to anybody who does not explicitly have their pronouns in their bio, I always refer to them as they. I try not to use he or she pronouns when I'm speaking to people I don't know. I usually just refer to them as they, because I don't know you. And a lot of times I don't feel like clicking. I'm not going to hold you. Sometimes I don't feel like clicking on people's Twitters. So I will just put they as a gender neutral thing and be like, this person, they, or I'll just say the person's name so I don't have to worry about misgendering them. Now we're hitting the part of the video that I feel like was unnecessary and we really didn't need to be a part of. I feel like this section of her video had nothing to do with you or I. The whole her explaining, her misspeaking, and the transphobic stuff, all of that stuff involved us. But this whole section, it had nothing to do with us. So here's my issue starting. She says that she's paraphrasing what Smokey Glow is saying. And the issue with paraphrasing someone on the internet is you're giving people on the internet too much credit. I saw way too many people, because later that night, Hannah did tweet about this, who were taking the paraphrase as the gospel truth and running with what Angelica had paraphrased that Smokey Glow had said, and were attacking her for it, which I completely got why she was upset with Angelica saying that paraphrase, because too many people on the internet don't care that it was a paraphrase. They heard it, like that whole sentence went one ear, went out the other. The whole paraphrasing thing went out people's ears. Because again, this is the internet. You're talking about groups of people who read titles and not the actual article. You think paraphrasing is gonna go over both those type of people? She says that Smokey Glow had scoured the internet for an hour looking for any proof of Angelica being transphobic, but she didn't find anything, but she was gonna go with the narrative anyway. She states that Hannah was very supportive of her in private, but then publicly denouncing her and saying that she was not on her side. She said that Hannah was getting hate and she felt like she did not deserve to get any hate, so she decided to kind of go with the mob instead of standing by her, which, okay. Because the thing is, originally, in the comment section of the video, Hannah had Angelica's side in the comment of her video. And then she got dragged. And she was getting hate. And she was getting attacked. And so she regrouped. And was like, being on your side ain't gonna work out for me like that. At least publicly. Which, again, this is a tale old as time when it comes to influencers, YouTubers, being in someone's corner through text messages and DMs and then publicly denouncing them. So many influencers do this. So many YouTubers do this because sometimes the optics don't look good to be in someone's corner. And the thing is, I feel like a big issue here is, I think Angelica thought their friendship was stronger than what it was. And I feel like this happens to a lot of people who are on the internet. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't view internet friendships at the same level as real life friendships. I don't actually, again, a lot of us are pretending on the internet. A lot of us on the internet say things we would never say in real life. Never. More than, I want to say only like 2% of you would actually say the things you say on Twitter in person. Because I know you don't. I live in real life. I'm around people. And that energy I see on Twitter, that energy I see on social media does not translate to real life for a lot of you. And I feel like you think you know somebody because you follow them and you watch their videos. All of this is a performance. Me in front of this camera right now, this is YouTube Chastity. People who know me in real life would say that a lot of this is true to who I am, but this is not 100% me. It's not. Because again, this is still YouTube. I can't say everything I want to say because YouTube will clap it, you know? And then like just talking through text messages to people, that doesn't tell you who they really are. So I feel like Hannah viewed them as friends-ish, but still internet friends. And something not worth possibly ruining her career over. And I feel like Angelica was pretty salty because she viewed her as a really, really close friend. And I feel like it's because Angelica is a little bit younger. I think she may be like a year or two younger than me or so. She's a little bit younger, a little bit more naive. So she felt like her and Smokey Glow were like BFFs. So it definitely felt like a betrayal to her because she is so young. I feel like she doesn't fully understand that like internet friends are just that, internet friends. That you will never truly know a stranger. Because again, y'all are friends, but y'all are essentially strangers. Y'all don't really know each other beyond what you show each other. But when you know someone in real life and you go through situations with them and you going places with them, you're experiencing life with people, regardless of if they want to, they will show their true colors through arguments, and hence for everything that happens in a friendship when it's happening in real life, you pick up on the type of person someone is. It's a little bit harder on the internet because everyone has their curated like internet personality. Internet people, social media people, YouTubers, they are not your friends. And I feel like, especially in the world of commentary, it's not good to be friends with the people you're one day going to make a story about because that creates a lot of bias. And I feel like that's what Smokey Glow was talking about. Because I definitely feel like if this was anyone else, Hannah would not have taken Angelica's side. I don't know. It just does not look good, in my opinion, for people in the commentary community to not only be friends with YouTubers, but be friends with each other. I feel like commentary channels, that sector of YouTube, gains less by having more interpersonal relationships within the community because it does create bias and you start looking at situations different and you start taking people's words for things. And I feel like at first, Angelica was being a friend before she was being Smokey Glow. She was being Hannah before Smokey Glow. And the Hannah part of her wanted to take Amanda's side. But then the Smokey Glow kicked in, and she was like, if this was anyone else, I would not be so quick to be on their side. I feel like if this was anyone else, she would have waited longer to say something. She would have waited to see more information come out. She would have waited until Angelica made a video. But Angelica is Hannah's friend, and she went into protect my friend mode. And I feel like Angelica is only seeing this situation from friend mode and not YouTuber mode, and that's why she's hurt. And she has every right to be hurt. I don't think that was what Smokey Glow did was right, but it's completely understandable. It is because because it is fucked up. It is an actually fucked up thing to do, to be on someone's side through text messages, but then publicly be like, ah, nah, I ain't fucking with that shit. That is a terrible thing to do to a friend. It is a bad thing to do to a friend. And I would never do that to any of my real life friends. Like my friends Jessica, Jasmine, my friend Amanda. I would never switch up on them because optics wasn't look good on them. I have years of friendships. We have gone through things together. Those are my real ass friends. My internet friends, I'm asking myself, if I was in Hannah's shoes, would I do something different? And I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Because the thing is, it looks bad as a commentary channel, a person who talks about how people react to situations and the morality, if they done something good or bad, to then blindly just be like, that's my friend, she ain't do nothing wrong. It looks bad on her part. If she would to just wholeheartedly be on Angelica's side, when at that point Angelica hadn't said anything. And I don't like it in situations when people's friends speak for them before they say anything. That never looks good in my opinion. I feel like it would look bad on Smokey Glow's part to speak before Amanda said anything. The person that should have spoke out first definitely was Angelica. Again, I don't personally believe that this section of the video was necessary. I feel like we had no business being a part of it, especially since, again, Angelica showed no messages between two of them. So the only thing we can do is go by her word. That's all we have. Because, again, this was a private conversation that should have remained private. Y'all spoke on it initially privately, and you should have continued to speak about it privately. I feel like we had no place being in this conversation. I feel like she feels like because Hannah had posted that apology that then the rest of this should be public. No, Hannah had to say something, and honestly, it would have looked really bad for Hannah to take up for you. It would have, especially when at the time you said nothing. This happened middle of last week, and you didn't speak about it until Sunday night. There was a lot of days in between this situation and when you actually spoke up. So there was too many people not on your side for her to be on your side. It would look bad for her. She would have got dragged. People would have went through any and every account she had to try to find a way to turn her into. It would have looked terrible for Hannah. And like another thing, I think when the original situation happened 3 months ago, you needed to have made a video. The biggest issue is all you did was post a comment and then tweet it. There was no video made, and I feel like if you did something in a video on your channel, the channel with like 500,000 subs, it should have been readdressed on the channel with 500,000 subs and not on Twitter, the place where you have the least amount of followers. That's just how I feel. I feel like there was a lot of miscommunication because it was tweeted and you did not verbally say it, and a lot of people did not hear about it. That's the issue. A lot of people did not know this happened when it happened, so now it's a way bigger deal. Again, what she did was not right. No way, shape, or form was it right, but it's something that you get, self-preservation. And again, I feel like you, Angelica, held that friendship closer than she did. Because she was quick to drop you, which again sucks, but I get it. Again, y'all, I think the only reason why I get it is because y'all are internet friends. If y'all were real life friends, and y'all were friends before YouTube and all that stuff, I feel like I would be more sympathetic to how Angelica feels. But because I'm like, y'all are internet friends, y'all never even met in real life. Like, y'all do not know each other, and I feel like this situation proves that neither of you know each other. But again, I really can't fault Smokey Glow for wanting to remove herself from the narrative, especially when it took you a decent amount of time to say something. There should have been. I get it. It is hard when you're in the middle of the storm to like come out with a statement, but it's like there was a decent amount of time between her apology when you said something, because at the time it was not looking good for you. You were sinking ship, and she jumped off again. Doesn't mean what she did was right, but I 100% get why she did it. Um, Again, it kind of felt like bringing up some stuff about Hannah felt slightly deflective, that she wanted to kind of like a scapegoat in the situation. Because right now on Twitter, I feel like, again, way too many non-black people, accepting non-black and people who don't have disabilities. Too many of y'all are speaking and taking that apology like y'all always do. And I see a lot of people like attacking Hannah, and again, I thought, but we don't know both sides, but immediately jumped to attack Hannah. Okay, sure. And y'all are attacking Hannah, and I feel that's kind of what she wanted to do, because now people are not talking about the fact that she consistently does things like this, and she has to be, again, it's the misspeaking. When you are a commentary channel, that makes absolutely no sense to me. You cannot articulate your thoughts, but you chose a type of content where it is imperative that you can articulate your thoughts. That's all swept under the rug, and now everyone is attacking Hannah. Also, another thing I did not like is that Hannah said that she was going to make a video, tell her side, and people were telling her not to do it. Angelica intact her character. I feel like that what's confusing. Her character was put into question. She has every right to state her side. She has every right to. And she said that she is dropping a video. So I feel like by the time I drop this video, her video will be out, and I have to watch that one and do a whole nother. But yes, I don't believe in Angelica is allowed to tell her side of this situation, and Hannah isn't. Y'all are weird. You bitches are weird. Again, this whole section of the video was private, and that is why we didn't see any DMs. We didn't see any text messages. Everywhere else in the video, she had proof and evidence. This section, there was none. Regarding their messages to each other, at least. There was nothing of that. So all you have is what Angelica... Like, also, a side note, this is me being nitpicky. I don't like it when people get super emotional in apology videos. Me personally, I'm not saying she was being manipulative, but I do view it as that, especially when it's coming from white women, when they get all very tearful and very, it's just, their voice starts to quiver. Like, to me, when white women do it, it hits on, manipulative. And I feel like that's another reason why people were so quick to attack Smokey, is because they saw how distraught that Angelica was. And I feel like there are edits in this video, because when the first time I watched it, I didn't notice the edits, but since I've had to watch it 3-4 times, she does edit this video. And I would have preferred her to stop the camera, regroup, cry if she needed to wipe off her face, regroup, and get back to the video. That's just me being nitpicky. Again, I know people hate when people read off scripts and apology. I prefer that. I truly, truly do. I need you to hit the points that need to be hit. I need you to get out my face. I'm not here for tears. I'm not here for sympathy. You did something wrong. I don't feel bad for you. Explain what you did wrong and go. Again, that's me personally. I know y'all love people who cry in apology videos. Tears don't mean sincerity. I think it's time for us to just sit with ourselves and realize that tears does not mean that this person is truthful. So I think I've hit on all my bullet points. I've gone through 4 pages. Gonna edit the hell out of this video. But again, that's just how, that's the kind of like the breakdown situation, how I felt about it, a little bit of how I felt, just my interjections here and there, because I do feel like neither of these people are in the right. I don't think this is a situation where there is a right person. I just feel like I feel like this is just, I feel like whose side you're on is based on how you would react to the situation. I'm really not on anybody's side personally. Um, Especially with the fact that Smokey Glow has not been able to speak her piece. It feels very weird to me that you already have a side when you have not heard from both people. That's a little weird, just to me. I just feel like you should at least, and this is a situation where like it's impervious to hear both sides. I feel like I really just think this section of the video had nothing to do with us, and this is really just on whether or not you think Hannah's being a good friend or not. Personally, is she being a good friend? No, but they're not real friends. I'm sorry. I took the internet safety courses in school very seriously. I don't believe strangers on the internet are my friends. Personally, I don't. I don't feel like internet strangers are my friends. Because again, at the end of the day, these two people actually did not know each other. And this is why this situation played out the way it did, because they really don't know each other. Because if she really knew Hannah, she would understand that this was the most likely outcome. That Hannah was going to be by her side, you know, in private, but then publicly have to denounce her. So I feel like every once in a while, there is a situation where your friend does kind of fuck up and you're on their side publicly, but you know what they did was kind of wrong. And I feel like with the microaggressions and things that she has said, it's kind of hard to be on her side because there's been a couple of times where Angelica, while doing her thing, has made me uncomfortable with her kind of response to it, because and my brain would just chalk it up to that. That's just me watching a white content creator, because that's what happens a lot when I watch non-black people. They do things every once in a while that just kind of has me side-eyeing them. Like I didn't appreciate in the glam gore video about her drama with her black friend, who said that she was like doing microaggressions and stuff like that. And to prove you can't just, as a black woman, you can't just say someone's being microaggressive to you. You need proof. No one believes black women, even when we do have proof, but it's even worse when you don't. So she had to show the messages. She had to. And I did not like how not understanding Angelica was in that situation, because she said, like, I know she had to show the messages, but I wish she didn't. And it's like, but how? How does that make sense? That was such a minute point that definitely did not need to be in the video. Because again, as a black person, as a black woman, people automatically don't believe you. So you need to come with proof. And even then, people don't believe you. So it makes no sense to me that you were upset slightly that she showed proof of the microaggressions. But Angelica, in multiple situations when it is advantageous to her, shows screenshots, personal messages. Again, when it benefits her and when it benefits people she likes. I think it's time that Angelica stops making bullet points and writes full-on scripts. Because again, stream of consciousness is for you, baby. No, it is not. Because this misspeaking and this not elaborating when you're doing commentary is bad. It's not a good look. You need to sit down and really think and write all your thoughts down. And then reread it a couple times and take stuff out as you go. Because this should not be happening. Well, it shouldn't and shouldn't, because you are human. But it's just the fact of the matter is, like, you know this is an issue and you seem to not be doing anything to do better at it. And you're going to continuously get yourself in the hot water every once in a while when you do things like this. So yeah, that's finally it. I got all my feelings out about it. Again, by the time I drop this video, Smokey Glow should probably have dropped hers. I'm gonna watch that, make a video on that. As of right now, tell me what you think. Again, I don't want to hear what side you're on. We've not heard two people's sides, so you shouldn't be able to pick a side yet. And again, picking it just feels weird to me that we're picking sides amongst someone's friendship. That's weird. That's a little weird. I'm sorry. These are two friends. Let's not pick sides. Even though I don't believe internet friendships are real, y'all seem to believe. So it's weird to pick sides in someone else's friendship. Let's not do that. But like, do you accept Angelica's apology? Do you think she actually needed to tell us the personal shit between her and Hannah that was handled privately for the most part? And again, Hannah had to have made a statement. It looks bad if she doesn't. People are hounding her about it. She has to say something at one point. I personally would have waited until Angelica dropped the video, but that's me. What do you think Hannah is going to bring up in her video? If she's gonna show us any messages or not? What do you think? And that's it for me today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.